There is nothing wrong with your television. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are now controlling the transmission. We control the horizontal and the vertical.
I can delude you with 1,000 figures or expand one single topic to crystal clarity. For the next 15 to 20 minutes, I will be talking to you about whether you want or need the things that you collect. A lot of people are going to even say, with a lot of sarcasm, we don't need any of this stuff. But I'll decipher that for you in the Friday Zone. Coming up. All right, so today, happy Friday, everybody. I'm going to get into talking about need versus want versus need, and distinguishing those. And I will say this, it's okay to buy stuff you want. It's not the end of the world. But the semantics aside, we don't need any of this is going to be said by a lot of people. It's going to be a lot of comments. But of course, you got to understand that we all need a mental break from reality. We need a getaway. We need to be able to focus our mind on our hobbies and other things, which will make you more productive in your job or your real life or everything else that you do, if you can take your mind off of that for a little while. And so with that, getting into the need, most people start collecting. The need is their goal. Their goal in collecting is their need. And it is usually, I want to season 1, season 2, just the art crew. But you know what most people start with? I want to recollect what I had as a kid. Now, a lot of times this is something that when it comes to Transformers, out of everything else, once you start kind of collecting the G1, it has its charm, it's fun, and a lot of people do love to have, like I love mine. I don't got them out on display though. They're behind stuff. But I love them. I don't want to part with them. But I display the masterpiece. So my collecting goals changed from just trying to get these. My goal was to get as many G1 Transformers as cheap as I could, under $5 each, no more than $5 each. And I did that for a decade or so. And I am where I am now, where it's costing a lot more to catch up. If I'd have just got them complete back in the day, would have been a lot cheaper. But still, my goal is masterpiece, because I want the best representation, and that really gets me excited. So going out of my way to complete all the stuff that I've collected for G1 is no longer a goal of mine. Therefore, getting vintage items or complete vintage items is not a need for me. I don't need that. It's still sort of a want. So one of the questions would be, when you start collecting, do you need an Optimus Prime? Or should you just skip the character entirely? Now, I will say almost every collector that collects Transformers needs an Optimus Prime. In fact, most collectors that collect other things than Transformers still have a bit of a soft spot for Transformers. And if they're going to get 2 figures, it's usually an Optimus Prime and a Megatron, or just whatever their favorite character is. But most of the time, you'll see non-Transformer collectors popping up with an Optimus Prime or a Megatron, or both, and very excited about it. And because that is a need in their collection, even though they don't collect Transformers, they need an Optimus Prime. Now, they don't need this many Optimus Primes in the masterpiece. This is more for people that like to use comparisons, for reviews, to showcase. And I got to tell you, as many of these as I have, I don't need duplicates of the exact same one, so they have to be different decos and stuff. So my rules, my needs, I sell off if I end up with 2 of the exact same one, which I actually haven't had 2 of the exact same one in a long time, so haven't had to sell one in a while. But this is my need. My need is not to get another Magic Square Optimus Prime or MP44KO. I don't need it. Alright, so the Fans Toys, or the Fantastic Model Optimus Prime's coming. I've got it pre-ordered. I plan on getting it. Do I truly need that figure? Not really. I've got decent representations of Optimus Prime already. They fill the slot. They do just fine. Do I need it? Not at all. Do I want it? Yes. Now, if you don't have an Optimus Prime, then you might want to pick this one. But, you know, the other thing is, a lot of times wait for a review. Well, if you wait for a review on a Fans Toys item, you might actually miss the boat, just like with Galvatron. And of course, if you're a Fans Toys collector, the quote-unquote Fans Toys fanboy, you're gonna want and need, you're gonna need Optimus Prime. If you're gonna continually buy Fans Toys as they come out and you want your whole collection to be Fans Toys. Even if there's other better options out there, like other people view some of the better options, which we're about to get into, that's still going to be a need for you because you want that completeness. Especially if you've already bought the FTO1 truck, the trailer. But for a lot of people that are collecting right now, this is not a need. This is maybe a want, but not a need for them, for their collection. Even if once it comes out, everybody's raving about it being the best. If everyone's raving about it, still not a need, still a want, because their needs are satisfied with other Optimus Primes. So right now we're in the midst of Fans Toys or Fantastic Model dropping the Rambo figure, their Sideswipe, and I will have to say this. This is one of the biggest figures of Fans Toys that I felt was unnecessary. Was not a need, because DX9's great. It's a decent one. I watched Pake for Life's video of him transforming it and handling it, and I have to say the paint is phenomenal. It's a beautiful looking figure, and I will hold all my judgments till I review it to tell you whether or not I like it more than the DX9. But it's still going to be tough to replace DX9, even if it's, in my opinion, 10% better. It's still not a need if you have DX9. But if you have Takara's, which I didn't grab the Takara picture, but if you have Takara's, I say really it's a needed upgrade. It really is. There's a handful. Ironhide was definitely a needed upgrade. We've got Fans Toys X Transpots. Either one of those are much better than Takara. Same thing with this, mostly just because it was dated. The Takara Sideswipe was so very dated, and the transformation is super simple on Takara. It's not super simple on, well, either one of these. So if you have the DX9, where I stand right now, it's looking like Rambo's not a need. But actually, once I get it in hand, I might change my mind. Now, a lot of times when I make my videos on Friday, I've got a little bit of news to talk about, and this is a updated X Transbots picture. One of the things that people were the most upset about with the Fans Toys version of Zarak was the fact that it has the wheels on the lower bottom part. Don't know how this is going to look in editing. I'm not too concerned about it. Anyway, the wheels bothered people for like the neck, which the more people talk about it, the more I do kind of realize that is goofy looking. I don't know if there's going to be a way to eliminate that, or you just have to have that. But the further discussion goes much further than just the wheels on there. If X Transbots is first to the market and you buy the X Transbots Zarak, do you need the Fans Toys? And be real with yourself. I would venture to say that X Transbot Zarak is going to be close to half the price of the Fans Toys 2-pack. Now, yes, they are going to be doing, X Transbots is going to be doing Fast Track also, separately. There won't be one purchase, but you won't have the wheels on the bottom. So there's two discussions to be had here, which require complete other videos. But I'm just going to touch on the fact, if you've got X Transbots and you just want the figure, the head, and you don't need the full-on combiner, you don't need the entire Scorponok. I guess I'm looking for CityBot as the word, but the Scorponok. If you don't need that, if you're not planning on even buying that, then it doesn't really matter, in my opinion, which one you go with, other than, of course, the fanboy. So what is your need versus what is your want? I've got them both pre-ordered because I'm going to review both, give you my honest opinion on both of them. But at the same time, I kind of think value-wise, the X Transbots is going to be there. And it'll just be interesting to see how this plays out. It will be interesting to see timeline, time horizon, and then by the time Fans Toys comes out, we've had our X Transbots for a year or two. Who knows exactly the timeline on all this, because X Transbots takes a while sometimes. But at that same time, would buying the Fans Toys one be a need because you're planning on buying the whole Scorponok? Or is the Fans Toys one just a want because you think it's a little bit better than the X Transbots? Now, this is a tangent I wasn't going to get into, but I'm going to get into it. And there's a reason why. And at the end of this tangent, I'll tell you why I got into this tangent. X-Transbots to date has made the best version of Wheelie. Now, there's a nice one Hasbro made. Still, aesthetically, it doesn't match the animation as well as the X-Transbots one. And if you got the first version of Ollie, then yes, you're probably going to be a little floppy. It's not as good. I got the third version, and I got to say that it's pretty decent. It's tight enough, solid enough. I had the first version, and it was floppy. I sold it for what I paid. I got my money back out of it. And I let whoever bought it know exactly why I'm selling it. It's loose and floppy, loose and hips, looks good, all that kind of stuff. But if Fans Toys were to make a Wheelie, would it be a necessity for me to upgrade from the X-Transbots to the Fans Toys? And I would say no, for two reasons. Number one, the character isn't that important to me. And number two, X-Transbots does it for me. But other people would argue and say, yes, it's a need because it would have better hardware, it would work better, it would look better, function better, all that kind of stuff. Transformation might be a lot harder or a lot more involved. And so with all that, the paint would probably be much better. Presentation might be even better. And yes, I would buy it, but would I be buying it out of need? No, I'd be buying it out of a want. Let's expand this one topic to crystal clarity here. If X-Transbots made a very G1-esque Bumblebee tomorrow, and they announce it tomorrow, would Fans Toys be working on converting over whatever they need to convert over from their parkour, their cliff jumper, and getting on top of making a Bumblebee? Probably. They would probably be making a Bumblebee fast. It would be under the Fantastic Model name. It is what it is. I'm going down this Minibot route because, well, first of all, if you really go back in time to like 2014 to 16 era, 17 era, then X-Transbots dominated. Well, I wouldn't say dominated, but they dominated. They were making the best Minibots, or really the only Minibots at Masterpiece scale at the time. And although a lot of people want to replace those, they view replacing several, like Windcharger and those, as necessities. This is still the best Cosmos, and it is X-Transbots Collat 2. Now, this past week, we saw pre-orders going out. Well, the two that I pay close attention to is TF Source and Shozy Store, and I did pre-order it. The problem is, bad information went out. They're not doing the first one with the lighter color scheme, which is more cartoon accurate. They're just rerunning again for the third time the metallic darker one, which I already have, so I don't need it. So I pre-ordered this one. I wanted it. I still really didn't need it, but I wanted it. But I absolutely do not need the dark one again, so I'm not going to bother. If you want it, though, it's actually going to flip the script. I actually pre-ordered the one on the left. It got canceled. The one on the right now, I don't know if it's up for pre-order just yet, if they're going to be taking the pre-orders just yet, because last I checked, they didn't have them up yet, but pretty soon, if not by the time this video posts, the one on the right should have some pre-orders to pre-order it if you want to get it. But the price went up to $120, so it is what it is. Anyway, X-Transbots is still sought after, especially this figure. Now, I want to talk a little bit about something a little bit different. Now, I started this topic talking about me and my G1, and as much as I love G1, and I've reviewed figures and wanted to go on to completing my G1 just because I'm so excited about that particular character at that moment. Did I need to finish my G1? No. And so I kind of stopped doing that because we're getting Missing Link. Now, Missing Link, is it a necessity? Do we need it? Now, for me personally, yes, because I'm letting it substitute continually collecting the G1 stuff that I'm missing. And I'd rather have updated articulation, some sculpt updated, and being all brand new. Yes, it's expensive, but trying to get some of the same characters complete and in somewhat decent shape are equally as expensive, if not more expensive, just for a loose one in the vintage line, so I can justify the expense of this line for the Missing Link, for me personally. Some people have pondered if Missing Link is really an important line, a good line, popular line? Do people like it? Do they want it? And I would say selling out, the sellout of this stuff is how you would decide, is it a good line? Now, I would believe that TF Source probably has more of the Show Z available because they're a little higher priced. But looking at this, really the only one released that's not sold out is the Ultra Magnus. And the Delta Magnus is sold out. I got that on the way. I'm looking forward to looking at that one. And so with all of that, the only one I've passed on so far is just getting the cartoon versions of Bumblebee and Cliff Jumper. I just didn't see the point, and I'm perfectly happy. And that gets into it again, want versus need. I didn't need those. I kind of wanted them, but I didn't need them. Just like with the Yellow Park making this 80 scales. And we're talking all these different scales. Do you need all the different scales? No, but do you want them for different reasons? I wanted to try these out. I like them. They're great for what they are. Do I have a full display of them? It makes me stop and think, no. I have them on a shelf, but it's not a full display. I don't plan out a full display for them. But yeah, these are like anywhere between 40 and 60 a piece. If you're getting, depending on if you're getting the Pro or the regular AMK. But then you get into like 5-inch Aldi. Is this a want or a need? This is a pure want, not a need at all for my collection. And it's just kind of fun. And one of the things about just wants, I want these. I like these. I have a lot of fun with these. But the price point is the only reason that I'm pushed over the edge. At $11 a figure, and the three smaller ones count as one figure, as one $11 figure. I can get with that. I can get behind this type of pricing for this non-transforming figure. Pure want, not need. But as for somebody else that's maybe starting a collection and they want to go this route and they want to spend as little as possible to get a good looking collection, well, this could be a need. This could be your collection. They seem to be hitting all great characters. So Aldi, $65 for 6 figures. Not bad. Lastly, the want versus the need topic or discussion that's hopefully crystal clear, or probably cloudy. Crystal clear as a puddle of mud, right? No. The figures in here that are being made by Fans Toys, the Carbots, I would tell you that out of all of the characters of the Carbots that needed to get replaced, well, although Ironhide's not a Carbot, he's Ironhide. And I would say we did need a new side swipe. We got it with DX9. I don't really feel like the Dotson brothers were bad. I think that the Takara Dotson brothers were fine. Now, I pre-ordered all of them. I'm going to be reviewing them and taking a look at them because I know if I miss out on a Fans Toys, rebuying on the secondary market is brutal. And I might change my mind when I get them in hand. But I really feel like that's, out of all of them, it's going to be the smallest incremental improvement over Takara. But I also feel like, according to everybody, DX9 missed the boat on the one that they did. So let's see what Fans Toys can do. But I still don't feel like it's going to be day and night difference from Takara. As it stands right now, it looks like one category, but when I get them in hand, I might change my mind. I might change it to need category. And for all those people trying to say Fans Toys and New Age are the same, they don't look like they share any design elements whatsoever. At all. I've heard this quite a bit lately. Fans Toys and New Age. New Age has got to be part of it. No. Stop that. So I want to know what you think. Inevitably, people are going to say, why'd you even make this video, Mike? It doesn't really make sense. Who cares if it's a need or a want? Well, it actually does matter. It's nice to have a perspective on your collecting, on your hobby, on your spending. And then this isn't pocket change. These are big ticket items. Some of them are bigger ticket items. Some of them are smaller ticket items. But sometimes I buy stuff that's just a pure want. Sometimes I buy stuff that's a need for achieving my collecting goal. But I'm curious, where are you guys in all this? What do you think about all this? And of course, like and subscribe. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. You know, I'm going to be here all weekend talking about something or another. Teddy Hanger out.